This is Saving History. I'm SCdigger, and today we're hunting Native American artifacts along the 3 and 20 Creek. We got a 30-minute hike ahead of us, so let's get going. Well, as you can see behind me, here's the field that we have permission to hunt on today. There are a number of things that I want to talk about first before we actually get into the field and start hunting. First and foremost, you need to make sure that anytime you want to hunt somebody's property that you do have permission to hunt it. It's not a real good idea just to stop on the side of the road and hunt any good-looking fields you might see. So gaining that owner's permission is the first thing that you need to do. Another thing when it comes to hunting Native American artifacts that's pretty important as well is to know the laws in your state. They vary from state to state, and obviously they affect different areas. For example, it might be perfectly legal to surface hunt for artifacts, but illegal to dig or excavate for artifacts. So it's pretty important to be knowledgeable about the local laws regarding the hunting and recovery of Native American artifacts. Now, I found my first arrowhead when I was probably about 8 years old, and that developed in me a lifelong desire to want to learn more about Native American culture and help preserve it and conserve it as I became interested in hunting artifacts. This field here is a relatively popular field. It's been hunted for years. It's I'm by no means the only person that knows about it. The problem being is the fact that it is a 30-minute walk to get into here, so it does take a little bit of work to get here. Now, probably the most popular question might be is, where do I find Indian artifacts? Well, probably the two main things that you want to take a look at in an area to hunt artifacts really is high ground near water. That's kind of a cliche-ish type of statement, but they would want to definitely have a water source, and of course along to my left here is the 3 and 20 Creek, and there's also a small creek that runs along the back side of the property. And of course, if you also will notice, if you can see in the video, that the ground here is much higher than all of the other fields, as you may have seen as we walked in. So the more you hunt a site, the more you're going to become familiar with it, the more you'll learn it. I've hunted this field numerous times and have learned that there's a couple of areas that tend to have higher concentrations of relics or artifacts, and even though there's been artifacts found from one corner to the other of this field. What do you need to hunt Indian artifacts? Well, not a whole lot. A good pair of hiking boots doesn't hurt. One of these kind of canvas nail aprons to put chips in, pieces of pottery. I also carry a old dip can to put something that I want to protect and not get broken if I find it. A lot of people will carry a walking stick or a flipping stick, as it might be termed, so that way you can kind of minimize the amount of bending over and picking up, as you can just reach down and kind of turn over chips or rocks that look like they might be an artifact. So let's not talk anymore. Let's go ahead and get in the field and see what we can find.
Now, one of the things you're looking for when you're out walking the fields to kind of give you an idea of whether you're in a spot that could be good or not are chips that are left behind from where they were making various points and tools and things. And I just wanted to show you a couple of small chips, one quartz, one I don't know what the gray material is, but these two pieces were laying here side by side on their own. Matter of fact, you can see right beside it there's a nice deer track here, which would also mean or make it a good place to live if you have a lot of wildlife and animals that you could use for food. So these are the kind of things right here that we're looking for. This site itself is artifacts that have been found here have ranged from the late Archaic to Woodland period, meaning that the artifacts or this site ranges in date from anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 years old. So it certainly puts it in perspective when you dig a mid-1800s flat button from an old home site, the type of history that you're really talking about. One other thing that I see while I'm just sitting here that I'll move over to that you can see, hopefully, I can find it on the viewfinder there. Right here is a very small piece of pottery. I'll go ahead and pick it up. I collect and hold on to all the pottery that I find. I think it's as important of a historical record as finding the nicest unbroken point that you could find. So I'll stick that in the pouch and we'll hold on to it. Here's another little piece I picked up just now. This whole little area, this little hilltop that I'm on right now is littered with this kind of stuff, broken pieces and chips. This is really I guess you call it a midsection from a point. You can see the cross section there, how it was shaped, and certainly if you look closely you can see where it was worked on either side. So it would have been a much larger piece, but once again we'll go ahead and hold on to it and we'll keep it. Well, I'm going to show you a little piece that I just walked up on and kind of show you kind of what we're looking for and what the advantage of having hard rains does for being able to find points. This quartz point you can see right here is it's relatively crude, but the unique thing about it is, if you can see, and I hope I'll get the camera angle down low enough where you can see how it's almost sitting up on a pedestal of dirt. It's really unique to find them that way. They stand out and makes them a little bit easier to find. So what I'm going to do, when I get to this point right here, this is what really makes hunting artifacts real for me, because I know that when I reach down and pick up that point that we're looking at, I'm the first person to touch that in literally thousands of years, and it's that's the historical connection there, and knowing that the last person that held that before it was made, dropped, shot, fired, however it was used, was a Native American. So I'm going to I'm going to take a still picture of it in situ here, and then we'll go ahead and recover it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's hunt. Didn't find anything earth-shattering, but I think if you really put it into perspective, anytime you can find an artifact that is possibly several thousand years old, I think that certainly makes it worth saving. So you've been watching Saving History. I'm SCdigger. Thanks for watching.